Hello and welcome to Chapter 6, Lesson 13, page 455 in our math books. We're going to divide the decimals. This is Casey is 4.5 feet tall. Her brother Jerome is 6 7/75 feet tall. How many times taller is Jerome than Casey? So we have to find 6 7/75 divided by 4 5/10. So what we're going to take is we're going to take the divisor 4 5/10, and we have to change the divisor to a whole number. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this by 10. That way this will be a whole number. Now whatever I do to the divisor, I must do to the dividend. So I'm also going to multiply the dividend by 10. So my new equation or expression is 45 as my divisor and 67 5/10 as my dividend. So 65 5/10 divided by 45. All we did was we moved the decimal once to both numbers. So 45 goes into 6 0 times, but 45 goes into 67 once. So I'm going to write my steps. So 1 times 45 is 45. And we're going to subtract, so 7 minus 5 is 2, 6 minus 4 is 2, and I'm going to bring down my 5. Now 45 goes into 225, we're going to say 5 times. Then 5 times 45 is 225. And then I have a remainder 0, so my final answer is going to be 1 5/10, or 1 1/2. So Jerome's is 1 1/2 times taller than Casey. So if we check our work, we should get 6 7/75. So all we did today was we changed our divisor to a whole number, and we did the same motion with the divisor to our dividend. So this time we have 6/100 divided by 1 5/10. The 1 5/10, to change that to a whole number, we're going to move the decimal place to the right once. Since we're doing that once, we're going to move the dividend decimal once as well, or we're going to multiply them each by 10. So 15 goes into 0 0 times, 15 goes into 6 0 times, and 15 goes into 60 4 times. 4 times 15 is 60, and we have 0. So we have 4/100 as our final answer. So go ahead and try the guided practice. So we have 13 goes into 6 0 times. 13 goes into 68. It's going to be 5 times. So 5 times 13 is 65. Subtract is going to be 3. We're going to bring down the 9. 13 goes into 39 3 times. And 13 divided by 3, or is multiplied by 3 is 39, and we get 0. So we get 5 3/10. Before we move on, I actually do want to do number 2 with you guys. So we have, so first steps is we have to rewrite the equation. So I have 3/100 and then 16 5/10. So the thing we have to do is I have to change my 3/100 to a whole number. So in the examples, we've only been multiplying by 10, but in this case, I'm going to multiply by 100, or I'm going to move my decimal place twice, 1, 2, that way my 3 is a whole number. Whatever I do to my divisor, I have to do to my dividend. So I'm going to move the decimal place there too. So my new expression is going to look like this. 3 and then 1,650. And then we would just divide. And here's my decimal. 3 goes into 1 0 times. 3 goes into 16 5 times. So 5 times 3 is 15. 16 minus 15 is 1. Bring down the 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. 0, bring down the 0, 3 goes into 0, 0 times. So my final answer should be 550. So just remember, we have to change the divisors to whole numbers. However many times we move the decimal place in the divisor, the same amount of times we move it in the dividend. But thank you for watching.